running around.
Yeah.
You know.
Toby's a little. I feel like he's getting a little.
Right out here. Oh, good.
I mean, just won't take no for an answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone ready? Okay. It's time to call the Ferrisburgh City Council meeting for Monday, May 6, 2024 to order. Craig, could you call the roll, please?
Mayor Carlson,
Here.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Here.
Councilmember Sias, Councilmember Murdoch,
Here.
Councilmember Kate,
Here.
Councilmember DeWitt, Councilmember Sterling.
Here.
Make a motion to excuse Councilmember Sias.
Thank you. Support. Very good. Motion and support. Any discussion? Okay. Hearing none. All say aye.
Aye.
Okay. None heard. Very good. Moving forward, invocation by Councilmember Kate, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance.
Pray with me. Gracious God, we thank you for your blessings that you give us day in and day out, even those that we are not aware of. We pray your blessing, your special blessings on Councilmember Sias. In his absence, we pray that you will be with him at all times. We ask that you would watch over us in our meeting, that you would guide us and lead us and direct us as we attempt in our own human way to exercise your gift of civil government. In your name we ask it. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Now's the time for public comments. This time is on the agenda for any citizen to direct brief comments or questions to the City Council. Please try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Any public comments this evening? If you could state your name and city of residence, it'd be great.
Dennis Cron, 18968 North Shore Drive. I'm here principally for the discussion about this.
It's a work session item right at the last of the meeting. If you'd like to say something now, it'd certainly be good, or if you want to stick around, Dennis, that's fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. Anyone else?
Ryan McCauley, Port 1. Just found out last week we're getting a fire hydrant. Better place.
Where do you live?
18190 Yuma.
Okay. Yuma.
Right there at the end. Friday. Called Matt this morning. Typically half the cold up and over parts of the year. While I was coming in, tear up all the grass, and I got to call them to come.
Okay.
So,
Craig, do you have any comments on this?
I'll look into that.
Okay. Anyone else have anything to add on that? Some of you live here a lot longer than I have, Mr. DeWitt. Yuma? No? Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you. So Craig, you've got his contact info to get back with him?
Yep.
Okay, great. Yes, sir.
Hi, everybody. I'm David Brockmeyer. I live on Van Wyck, 168th Avenue at the proposed location, the Cottage Shores condo that's been. And I'm just here tonight because I want to add, there was a legal question that was posed at the last meeting. I know it's not planning council, planning commission here, but more for Craig. Just I had requested that we get feedback from the city attorney on the legal issue that was raised in that meeting, and whether or not the city will approve any variance on the waterfront setback that part of our issue we need coming up.
And we have a meeting with the city attorney coming up this week.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Any other public comments? Hearing none, let's move forward. Agenda item 6A, consideration for approval of the consent agenda for the April 15th, 2024 City Council meeting minutes as printed.
All right, move for approval.
Or, very good. Motion and support. Any discussion at all? Hearing none. Craig, could you call roll, please?
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to new business item, agenda item number
Excuse me.
7A.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
a request to add something to the agenda. An item to recommend approval to the Michigan Liquor Control Commission of the Class C liquor license for Pine Street Cafe located at 401 Pine.
This was on our desk this evening,
Correct.
okay? You're gonna need a motion and vote on this, correct? Put it on
Please.
the agenda,
Please.
okay?
We'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll support.
Oh, okay.
Any discussion? Hearing none?
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Very good. So that's added to the agenda then. Moving forward now to new business item 7A, public hearing proposed 2024-2025 city budget. So we're gonna open the public hearing at 7:06 PM. Ready, Craig?
Yep.
Okay.
Is it time for the public to make any comments on the
Okay,
proposed
very
budget?
good. Any public comments regarding the proposed city budget? Seeing none, hearing none. Can I go ahead and close now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. The public hearing is closed at 7:07 PM. Moving on to 7B, discussion and take action if appropriate to adopt a resolution regarding public employer contributions to the medical benefit plans. Right, Greg?
So this will be a resolution for the city to opt out of Public Act 152. The cost to the city is just a little bit over the 20% as permitted by this act. And city council, they want to exempt themselves, they can do that by a 2/3 vote of the council. So on your desk, in your packet was the resolution to opt out of Public Act 152. The city employees still would pay 15% of the health premium per month.
Connor,
Yes, sir.
we've opted out the last forever years, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
So I entertain a motion and support on this.
I'd make a motion, we opt out.
Support.
Any more discussion on it? Hearing none. Craig?
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7C, consideration for approval of a resolution to authorize the city's 2024 summer tax levy at 9.8061 mils.
On your desk tonight was a revised resolution for the summer tax. My former boss caught an error of mine, and so we revised the resolution to reflect their corrections. So the levy for the city would be 9.8061.
Entertain a motion and support on this, please.
Your Honor, I would make a motion that we authorize the city 2024 tax levy at 9.8061 mils.
Support.
Very good. Motion and support on the floor. Any discussion at all? Anybody have any questions? Hearing none. Craig?
Councilmember Kate?
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Searle?
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch?
yes,
Mayor Carlson?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7D, discussion and take action if appropriate, adopt a resolution adopting sewer and water rates and charges. Could we get a motion and support so we can discuss this, please?
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution adopting sewer and water rates and charges.
support,
Motion and support on the floor. Any discussion? I do have one question for you, Craig. Are we on the uptick for fund balances or down, or which way are we headed on these for sewer and water?
The sewer fund balance is very steady, so that's why we're lowering the rates a little bit to work it down a little bit. Water rate fund balance is a little on the low side, lower than we like to see it, so that's why the increase in the water rates.
Well, considering how prices are rising all over the place, it's a modest increase.
Right, and this is the first time we've increased the connection charges too. The water meters are getting expensive, the copper pipe's getting more expensive, so we bumped those up by 5%, and we'll probably do another bump next year.
And since we're talking about water and sewer, how is that working out with the change in billing for irrigation? People
Good.
Been
Yeah.
happy with that?
Yep, no complaints.
Okay, great. Anyone else have any other questions? No. Okay. Call roll, please.
Councilmember DeWitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling?
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch?
yes,
Councilmember Kate?
Yes.
Mayor Carlson?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Great. Moving on to 7E, discussion and to take action if appropriate to adopt a resolution regarding permit fees.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I move that we increase the cost of application fees for building, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing applications from $50 to $60.
Okay,
Support.
wonderful.
Do we need to vote on the inspector's increase as well? Or is that just happening?
Yeah, it's part of the wage, the budget, yes.
Any additional discussion? So this is just a pass-through that's just gonna go right to our inspectors.
Correct.
Correct.
So
So-
they're at $55 right now. And so they're gonna be up to 60, and then our permit fee applications are going up to 60.
So we've been collecting less than what we're getting charged?
Yes.
Your Honor, is this actually gonna cover our additional cost?
There should be no additional costs. We're just gonna change the application from 50 to 60.
But has that, I noticed lately that fund balance is accelerated dramatically because we've had a lot of building and such what. Typically, we're break even on that fund. Is this the time to, instead of going to $60 permit, a base fee to 70, to keep that fund balance? Because I know we charge, secretary time and stuff out of that fund?
The fund balance has all been increasing a little bit, but with, we had a lot of building permits last year. So far this year has been kind of quiet, so I imagine it's gonna work down a little ways this year on the fund balance.
Well, my question to you is this adequate to maintain that balance, going forward?
Yeah, yes, we'll
Okay.
look at it next year too.
That's all I got, thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion at all? Hearing none. Craig?
Councilmember Sterling,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Very good. 7F, approve a resolution adopting the 2024-2025 city budget of $7.740826 and appropriating funds for said purposes. That's $7,740,826.
I'll make a motion to adopt the 2024-2025 city budget of $7,740,826 and appropriating funds for said purposes.
Support.
Motion and support on the floor. Any discussions? Hearing none. Craig?
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7G, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve an agreement for traffic signal services and to authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign all necessary documents. Craig?
For the traffic signal at Van Wagner and 174th Avenue, we were entered an agreement with a BLP to do maintenance on there. When there's a bulb out or something needs to be changed, the BLP would do that. BLP is getting out of that business. They recommended that Strain Electric take over that maintenance agreement. In your packet is a quote from them. It's about $10 more than what we paid last time to Strain Electric to do some work on a traffic signal at North Shore, 174th Avenue. Strain Electric does all the traffic signals in Grand Rapids. They're highly recommended. Strain Electric's done work for the city before. Staff recommends that we enter an agreement with Strain Electric for traffic signal maintenance.
Great. Could we get a motion and support, please?
I'll make the motion to approve an agreement for traffic signal services and to authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign all necessary documents.
Support.
Great. Any discussion at all? Any questions?
Craig, what's the, thought behind, getting rid of, BLP?
They're getting out of the business. They're not no longer going to do it.
Okay, that's all I had, thank you.
Anyone else have anything?
Yes. What about the flashing lights at 3rd and Pine and 174th and North Shore?
This agreement will take care of maintenance for 174th and North Shore. The one at Pine Street and 3rd Street is MDOT.
Okay.
Anyone else? Hearing none. Craig?
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 6.8, discussion and to take action if appropriate to approve a recommendation from the Recreation Commission to approve a proposal from PM Blau Incorporated for $7,462.50 to update the Northwest Ottawa Joint Recreation Plan and to authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign all necessary documents.
So this is to update our 5-year plan. We do this as a joint effort with Northwest Ottawa communities, so the $7,462 portion based on the amount of work. Harrisburg. that sum it up, Craig?
That's correct.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Why? Any further discussion? Hearing none, Craig?
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery, Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 7I, discussion and to take action if appropriate to approve a recommendation from the Recreation Commission to approve a proposal from Piumblaw Inc. for $11,950 for the professional services for Fire Barn Park Development Phase 1 and to authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign all necessary documents.
Make a motion to approve. Support. Oh.
Okay.
I support that.
Very good.
So, this is for the design services for phase 1, specifically, the parking lot, bike path through the park and not around the fire barn. And that was something early on that was identified by the fire chief as a hazard that he wanted to mitigate. We have cut the parking lot down, basically left out some spaces that we can pave later. That way we're under what we budgeted. Anything to add, Craig?
No, you covered everything.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Didn't we, pay to have this designed once before, about 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's all designed. This is for the engineer work to get the construction documents ready and go out for bid and contracts.
So we're paying again for a design that we already paid for once?
We paid a very minimal amount for just the overall design of the park. So this is the more specific, detailed engineering designs we need to have in order to go out to bid.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Your Honor. And this,
Yes. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
this $11,950 is part of that budget that we've set. That's included in that budget.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Craig, where are we on finding land to purchase for recreational use to offset what we lost because of our, I don't know how to categorize it. Our
Mess up.
Our mess up, yeah, when we lost that land.
We're still working on it. I got a couple things I'm working on right now with it.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're still looking to find a way to get that grant.
Yep.
To lessen our costs.
Yep.
Anyone else have anything to ask or add? Hearing none. Craig?
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Wonderful. Moving on to agenda item 7J, discussion and take action if appropriate to schedule a work session as a regular agenda item on May 20th. Craig, what does City Hall have so far for?
We're recommending economic development bylaws, discuss the forever millage, bike path maintenance cost, and board and commission email addresses.
And I sent you an email this afternoon about economic development.
Yes,
That I'd just soon hold off until June
we can do that.
if we do that
Yes.
from a work standpoint.
Craig, were you getting us copies of?
Yes.
So what were the other 3 items? There was 3 others, right?
The forever millage, bike path maintenance cost, and boards and commission email addresses.
In terms of the forever millage, was it you, Jake, that was bringing that up before?
I sent some information out.
Could we get a,
And the bike paths is
right,
Mr. DeWitt.
I guess I'm confused on that forever millage. I need to know just exactly what is included in that as far as, is it roads, bike paths? Specifically, what we would be, if the forever millage passes, do we still need a bike path millage? Do we still need equipment millage?
That's gonna be the discussion at the work session, yep.
We have something in. Paper copy it like what Grand Haven did.
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure, kind of confused as to
Mhm. Yep.
included in their millage.
Sure.
Thank you.
And certainly one of my concerns is the fact that if you go to the citizens and ask for a forever millage for something, there's other things that we're gonna have to go back to the citizens and ask for, whether it be the motor pool or streets or something else.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's, my question is, if the forever millage covers blanket, the bike path maintenance, of, equipment millage, what all is included in it?
Sure.
Thank you.
So we'll be able to get some clarification on that, Craig, somehow.
Yep.
You and Jake can,
Possible for not the next meeting, but then after that to do it. I'm not gonna be at the.
oh, that's
I'm
right,
kind
you're
of-
not.
since I've kind of taken the lead on this. I'd like to be here at least.
You're not gonna be here next meeting.
We can hold off till June.
Can we do that, Craig?
Yep.
Okay, let's do that.
Is that something we want to push off, Jake, to the next meeting?
You know, what I wanted to, so Grand Haven in the past, the way they kind of made this work is they initiated it when other millages expired, so it was seamless. So I thought the timing with the bike path millage expiring, it was a decent time to discuss it.
Right, but my question is, if you're not gonna be here at the next meeting, would you like to?
I think that's what Craig's gonna do for the June meeting.
So we'll push it till June.
I was gonna save this until report time, but I won't be here next meeting either, so.
Okay. Thank you. Everyone else will be here.
Maybe.
God willing. I understand. I second that.
Hopefully.
I think a good one would be the city email work session. I think
Yeah,
there's a
we
general
talked about that.
consensus up here that that's a solution that we sooner the better, probably.
Are you thinking about adding it to the session?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That sound good for everybody? Anyone else have anything to add about work session? No? Okay. So you need some action on this, Craig, correct?
Please.
Okay.
Craig, just in preparation for that, would you mind shooting an email out to our current commissioners and asking for any input they have on that?
We did get some information from other communities.
What's that?
We did get some information from other communities.
Good.
Okay, so we need a motion and support to move forward on the work session for next May 20th.
Make a motion.
Or
Very good. Craig?
Roll call. Councilmember DeWitt? Councilmember Surley?
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch?
Yes.
Councilmember Kay?
Yes.
Mayor Carlson?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Agenda item 7K is the speed tables.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
Before we go there, can we do the 7J1, the approval for liquor license for Pine Street?
Oh, certainly. Okay, very good. Okay, so this agenda is going to be 7J1,
Please.
7K1, excuse me, J1. Discussion to take action if appropriate to recommend approval to the Michigan Liquor Control Commission Class C liquor license for Pine Street Cafe, SIMI LLC, located at 401 Pine Street.
I will make a motion to approve the Michigan Liquor Control Commission of a Class C liquor license for Pine Street Cafe, SLMI LLC, located at 401 Pine Street.
Support. Motion and support. Any discussion from any of you?
That was Mike, the second?
Mike.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is great.
It is,
Exciting.
yeah.
Have a dinner place in Perrysburg.
I'm happy.
Anyone have any further discussion? No?
After council, we can go have a cocktail.
Sounds like Mike's buying.
Close after lunch.
Well, they can't now.
Craig, can you call roll on that, please?
Councilmember Sturley,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Very good. Okay, moving on to item 7K, discussion speed tables. Had some conversations with the city manager. And Craig, could you lay out what you and I talked about, the basic plan?
So there was some discussion about increasing the number of speed tables on North Shore Drive. There's a couple that have a greater distance than what's really recommended by the traffic engineers. And so I guess the question for city council tonight is, do we want to go through the criteria that was developed last year by starting with selective police patrols and then doing a survey with the residents, or is that how we want to proceed?
Well, and backfill us in too with, we're talking about moving the one from North Shore.
That's part of the conversation, the one on North Shore Estates, but that's gonna be relocated. Do we want to relocate the speed table to the crosswalk adjacent to the park? You know, or do we want to put that someplace else and put an asphalt bump out there by North Beach Park on the crosswalk?
Okay.
Your Honor? So on a speed bump, you know, there's gonna be more of a hump, and it's not gonna be able to go right on the crosswalk on the beach park. If we do a speed table and just relocate the speed table to the crosswalk area, we can paint that speed table for the crosswalk markings.
I see. And then, could you also fill us in with some of what the citizens are doing in terms of with their offers and what their collections have happened?
We have one resident on North Shore Drive that is collecting donations from people in that area. Last I heard, he collected $2,800 for purchase of a speed table on North Shore Drive. The speed table cost $6,000, and it was $6,000 to install one. So it's $12,000 a speed table.
What?
Now, we definitely approve moving the one on North Shore Estates to the crosswalk.
So that we did, and that's the first answer or question we'd like to get answered is, do we want to move the speed table, or do we want to put an asphalt bump by the park? If we put this bump by the park, it's going to be offset adjacent to the crosswalk, probably before they get to it, and then the crosswalk will be there.
But we're definitely gonna move that one to there.
That's the question.
Doing something. Okay. Question I got is, what would it be to put an officer out there, say like a special patrol for like a weekend or like a Friday, Saturday? Could you give us a number on that? You write about 50 tickets out there and they'll slow down, guarantee it. Speed table, speed bump is not doing anything.
We can get that number for you. So just to be clear, you want to relocate the speed table on North Shore Estates to the crosswalk adjacent to the park?
Correct. I think that's
Okay.
what the consensus was at the last discussion.
Well, we talked about that, or just doing an asphalt speed bump there.
I guess that would be, what's Matt's recommendation, the speed table or the speed, or the bump?
He doesn't have a recommendation. It's up to city council.
Well,
What's the
he's the one,
cost difference?
well, he's the one that's gotta plow it. And as I understood at the last meeting, snow plowing's damaging our speed tables, which we're gonna have to replace at some point.
I think there was minor damage to that speed table, and we got some extra parts.
Okay.
I mean, I was in Grand Rapids a couple weeks ago, and they have these speed, asphalt speed humps all over the residential. So can't be that
yeah.
bad to plow.
I was just up at Mercy Hospital, and they have speed bumps, and you have to slow down. There's no way you can go fast over those. They're asphalt bumps. I think a bump is more effective.
Like what we have on, behind the old Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's not going to fly over those.
That would allow us to have a spare speed table to potentially put down.
Yes.
And that was the conversation last time, having that.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So we'll put an asphalt bump up there.
Do you have a cost on that?
No, I don't.
That's something city staff can take care of.
We'll hire it out, yes.
Okay, so can we break this down into two issues? The speed bump on North Shore Road, or North Shore Estates, we're gonna move and put an asphalt in, correct?
We're gonna remove the speed table on North Shore Estates, bring it to the garage, and install a speed bump adjacent to the city park by the crosswalk.
Okay, now, the second issue is North Shore Road. Can you get us a number on, like, extra police patrol? I mean, I'm sure one of the officers would be more than happy to work a overtime weekend. You write a bunch of tickets out there, people are gonna slow down. The other question I got, Craig, is perhaps, we got a speed sign there on, going to Verplanks, what is it, on First Street, or going from Verplank Drive to Verplanks Building?
Yes.
What does that cost? Something like that to put in, like, just before, like, just after Coast Guard Park or something like that, to remind people.
There's two of them on North Shore Drive right now. One when you're heading south, where as soon as you get out of the curve, there's one that flashes your sign, and there's one farther south.
Have we ever looked into an automatic ticket where?
yeah, we talked about
did.
cameras, and they said they're not legal in Michigan.
Allowed to do.
Oh, they're not? Okay.
No, my first.
Yeah.
They're not legal in Michigan.
Well, I think before we start throwing speed tables and speed bumps everywhere on North Shore Road, maybe we should just get a little extra enforcement out there and see how if that slows them down.
Yeah, I also think we need to mail out a formal survey, Craig. Before we do anything.
But no matter what, those people that live on North Shore Estates, they want that speed
Yeah.
table moved,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
we need to do that.
period.
Yep,
Oh.
And, shouldn't have,
correct.
Right.
so those are a go.
Yeah.
So we got
Yeah.
two different issues, North Shore Estates and North Shore
Right.
Road.
Right.
North Shore Estates, we'll put the asphalt in, we're
I
done.
think North Shore Road would like a speed bump every 5 feet. They could have.
Well, and that's where we need to do this survey.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
have we had enhanced enforcement out?
They did they had the trailer out there. I'm not sure they did speed survey, or no, not enforcement.
And how about access to the mobile radar trailer?
We can get that out there, yes.
We can get that out there as well, or somewhere.
Yes, when you put that radar out there, it's gonna be in a bike lane though, so people are walking and biking on those bike lanes. So they're gonna have to one side or the other.
But can, do we have a police commission meeting coming up shortly?
Just had one.
I'm sure you can call the sergeant and just request a little extra.
We've asked.
And it's already taken care of.
As a retired law enforcement officer, granted military, but still, I had law enforcement and speed responsibilities. I can tell you that the only time extra enforcement is effective is when the enforcement is there. The minute that officer's shift is over and he goes home, the effect stops. I'm just saying we can put all the extra enforcement out there we want. Once his shift is over, it's done. And nobody is going to pay a bit of attention to what's going on out there.
I agree with Bill.
And even while he's there, if he's writing a ticket, he's out of his car for 10 minutes, busy writing a ticket, others are going zipping right by him.
So your advice would be speed tables then?
I'm so tired of talking about speed tables and speed bumps, I could just scream. I don't know what the answer is. We've thrown so much money at this and thrown much time at this, I don't know what the answer is. I know that extra enforcement is not the answer. The answer is people out there who have driver's licenses driving up and down North Shore Road, obeying the laws and making the other people around them obey the same laws.
Your Honor. So kind of to enforce what Bill says is that there isn't anything that we can do up here that's going to solve this problem for you. There isn't. There's going to be a speeder that's going to go down North Shore Drive. Even if we throw extra cops, asphalt speed bump, speed table, radar gun, all of it. It's not going to completely fix the problem. It's not. So as a council, we have to do our due diligence, and we have to do our best to serve the citizens. But we can't solve all their problems either. We're trying to be helpful. We have been helpful, but like to throw every resource and everything that we have at this moving forward seems like it's overkill to me. We've done a lot as a council so far. I agree 100% with Bill, and we're doing our best. But there is not a silver bullet that's going to fix this. And for us to keep having this discussion every 2 weeks, it just feels like a waste of time sometimes. And if we can just put our best foot forward, do our best, hope for the best, follow up with it in a reasonable amount of time and see where we're at, then we're doing our part as a council.
So I've chatted with a lot of different citizens out there and been out to Mr. Ainsworth's house and watched traffic, and been out there and watched traffic a number of times, and I'm getting mixed signals from the citizens in terms of what they like the speed table. Some of them like the speed table, some of them don't like it. Some certainly don't want it by their house. And there's some thoughts that we need to have more speed tables because down on North Shore Road, they're too far apart. People get up to speed too quick. But then there's others that say they don't want to have any more speed tables. Is council aimable to sending out a survey so that we can get to the bottom of this and be done with it? All right. Got it.
I just soon be done with this thing.
I understand. I understand. But we've got citizens that are complaining about it.
6 or 7 meetings on the same thing. And
I understand.
Nothing's going to change.
Where we stand, Your Honor, so where we stand now is we're going to do a cement speed bump. Asphalt coming out of North Shore Estates.
Correct.
And we're removing
Correct.
that for now. See what we end up doing.
Correct.
Okay.
Survey the citizens after that and find out if we're going to put another speed table in or 2 speed tables or what we need to do. Now, I know a couple of you came here tonight to talk about the speed tables, and council doesn't really want to talk about it anymore, but Dennis, do you have anything 2 cents you want to add about the speed tables? And Mr. Ainsworth as well?
We may not want to talk about it anymore, but we're happy to listen.
I'm sorry.
All right?
Yeah, Dennis Cron, 18968 North Shore Drive. First off, I thanked you last year when the tables were been a tremendous help. It has really helped. Ben will tell you that it helped. Many of the folks who originally expressed a concern that they were really concerned about their safety, walking the kids across the street, biking down the street. When the street was repaired in 2020, Grand Haven section added lane on the other side that's not there before, so that there's just a large amount of traffic when the weather is good. So I'm here again to thank you. It's helped tremendously. especially with the truck traffic. There are some cars that can fly over the tables right now, depending upon the suspension. Last Sunday was kind of interesting because of all the motorcycles decided to come out and go around the edge under the shoulder to avoid going over. But we knew that that was going to again, from my standpoint, I can see it from my porch that the truck traffic, which really was the problem, has subsided tremendously. So again, we thank you. I think many of you recall that in 2022, I gave you a big report, 50-page report about speed tables and analysis of the speed study that Sheriff's Department had conducted, and just tried to provide the information. And as part of that, most of us were recommending not the humps, but the tables, because they were a little bit easier to navigate, to go over without having to come to an absolute. And we think that those have worked quite well for most of the vehicles. Somewhere along the way, the recommended distance between the tables got extended. So, for example, between the southern two, the distance is about 800 feet, and between the north two, it's about 600 feet. And the International Traffic Engineers specs recommend somewhere between 250 and 500 feet. So, even if you looked at the 500, 800 is quite a bit above that, 600 a little bit better, but somehow the recommended distance got extended. I think what would help, just again, an observation, I see a lot of traffic just speeding around the curve, heading south, and they come to an abrupt stop on the other direction. Once they get over that table by Piney Point, boom, they're launching to the north and around the curve. We just think that another table north of the northern one, somewhere near the driveway to the tennis court, be longer than 500 feet distant Piney Point one, but we think it would help, just because most people slow down coming around the curve. And once it starts straightening out, then they're accelerating. So
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
So that can give you an idea of the relationship between the pre-existing and just a suggestion for one. Essentially, on the west side, it would be south of the big Sekia house. On the east side of the road, it would be Dune tennis court. So there wouldn't be any interference with driveway. or the west side of the road. So if there's an extra table, that might be a place where it could be located. And I'd like to leave that suggestion with you. But again, what is there has been a tremendous. I know that total expense was more than, I remember how those things happen. Know that here and Ben has gotten commitments, pledges, if you will, from a number of residents. I think the total is over 3,200. So that would be available. Ben is recommending between the two southern existing tables. I think that would help. Again, that's 800 distance between those. So that's an option. If you prefer not doing that, I'm not sure if pledges could be moved to adding this northern one. We'd like to talk about it.
Yeah.
We think that there are sufficient number of people out there who appreciate it. And people don't stop walking at Piney Point. Continue walking both directions. And especially when cars and trucks fly around that curve, sometimes they get pretty doggone close.
Great, thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to know, the one you're suggesting, are there residents right there where you would suggest putting something?
On the east side, it's going into a dune. There's no driveway, no house, no. On the west side, it's where the landscape timbers are between the two Secchi houses. So it's not going into driveway or parking.
I'm a little
It's
gun
like-
shy, after North Shore Estates, how they were very unhappy having that and want it out. So now I think we need to make sure that the residents are going to be okay.
Greg, have we had complaints from citizens about the noise on North Shore Drive with the 3 existing speed tables?
I don't recall any complaints.
Not like we have up in the States.
Correct.
I think I heard one regarding the middle table shortly after, but it wasn't too. I mean, people notice, especially large trucks.
Sure.
So again, I will conclude by saying big.
Good. So our efforts have not been in vain. I know this is trying of everyone's patience. Mr. Ainsworth, did you want to say a couple words on this?
Contacting politicians.
you want to review what it is that we've got planned thus far, Deb? Sure. Craig, thank you.
So we're gonna do some speed or enforcement with the county sheriff's department, and we're gonna survey the residents on whether they want to have additional speed tables put in on North Shore Drive.
Ben, the other thing we're doing as well is we're pulling up the speed table that's up on North Shore Estates. Okay, with the idea being that that's available to move down onto North Shore. We'll put a paved one in.
Yes.
Correct, on North Shore Estates. That's what we're gonna figure out. Okay? Because we'll survey the residents. Because some residents are saying, hey, we don't need any more speed tables. And then we're hearing from citizens like you that are saying they'd like to see more speed tables. Craig, can you visualize a timeline as to where we're sitting?
We'll try to get the survey out this week and give residents a couple weeks to respond. Another month. 1 month. We should have some more answers in another month.
He's gonna send the survey out in the next week or so.
Postage and a postcard, yeah. Yes.
Understood.
How long is that going?
We'll try to get it done in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Have to tell. When I survey and 5 weeks.
No, 4 or
4
5.
to 5. A month, Mr. Ainsworth, a month.
Can I say something to Mr. Ainsworth? Can I say something, just real quick? While you've come and you've expressed the need for more speed tables, there have been other citizens that have come and expressed their displeasure with the speed tables. So we, as a body, our job is to weigh both sides of this and then make the best decision for the city. And sometimes that can't happen overnight. So it's fair for the citizens of Ferrisburg for us to survey them, get their opinion, and then weigh that opinion before we make a decision. And some perspective too is that these speed tables are still relatively new. These haven't, we just can't, as a council, you can't have the expectation that we can just adjust this on the fly per request. Like, we have to do our due diligence to make the best decision for the city. And to get to this point where we've gotten you speed tables, it took quite a bit of effort and evaluation by this council to get where we're at today. We've had feedback from you and from your friends that support your position, but we've also heard from other residents that don't join you in your feeling about the speed tables. So it is only fair for us to hear both sides of this. These speed tables haven't been there a year yet. The busiest time is going to be during the summer. I think it's probably appropriate for us to see how they work during the summer periods when traffic is higher. I guess all I'm asking from you, Mr. Ainsworth, is just a little patience in that not everybody shares your feeling about the speed tables, and we have to weigh everybody's opinion when we make these decisions.
Very good.
when we do
Yep,
that survey,
understood.
if it comes back and that's the case, then we'll act appropriately. If we confirm that the majority of people share your opinion, then we'll take that information and then act appropriately.
Starting the extra.
We'll look into that.
We'll take it under advisement. We'll take it under advisement. Thank you. Double yellow line. Well, we're gonna do a survey, and these things take time, and you've been happy with the speed tables thus far, have you not? Have you been happy with the speed tables thus far? You're not, you are happy, okay. So we're gonna find out from your neighbors if they're gonna be happy with more of them, or if they don't feel that they need to have any more, or if we're gonna move them, okay? This, that is not factual. It's up to city council as to the direction we're going to go. And we're gonna move on now, okay? Thank you.
All right,
You bet.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Craig, is North Shore Road up for painting, repainting the stripes on that? That up this year?
We do some painting every year, yeah. Pavement markings.
Yeah, I thought we did like every other year, every third year or something.
I think we're doing it this year.
Okay, could you look at putting double yellow line on there
Look into that.
instead of just a single white line? Yeah, we're gonna paint it anyway. I mean, I'm sure it's not gonna be that much.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Cost, thank you.
Anyone else have anything else to do on the tables, speed tables? No, done. Okay.
What, wait.
Too late.
We're done.
David Brockmeyer, 168th Avenue. This is gonna come up, I think, and 168th is getting redone. Will recently that, when I lived in East Lansing, I was the president of my neighborhood association. So I was very involved in a lot of the stuff going on around in the city, and one of the big issues was walkable cities, traffic calming thing. Spent a lot of time and effort going through a lot of those issues to help and resolve some of the not real major streets, but ones where speed limit might be 35 and germane to 168 is going to be approached. And I'm going to readily admit I'm not privy to all the conversations that have gone around in the city. I know you guys are probably tired of talking about it, but it is going to be something that comes up. So I think there are opportunities for especially longer term planning to put in some additional traffic calming measures that don't cost a lot of money, that do not have with paint or with looking at how we allow foliage to grow close or near to the street, how we have curb cuts. On 168th, we all know you come off that bridge and there's soft left, people come through there 30 miles. There's always people, there's a lot of people there. Fishermen, people with kids on the bike paths. And the way that is angled, it allows somebody going pretty quickly, they're not paying attention, they'll be in the bike path. So these are kind of more infrastructure sort of conversations too, but I think it's, and I would be willing to participate in any help in planning out this and talking about it and gathering feedback and those too, because in our case, on 168th, we know more homes are coming in there, not necessarily Cottage Shores, see about that, but we know that there's likely to be more homes coming. So it's going to be heavier traffic, which has a calming effect on its own to a degree. But there's other approaches that we might be able to hopefully come up with a good solution that doesn't have a recurring cost. I think some of the things that I've learned about the tables and bumps is they generally don't work a whole lot for a long period of time. People who have them immediately in front of their homes, it's very problematic. Probably. So, you know, because I know they slow down and then race off, take off. And when you have homes that are far away from the street, like we do on North Shore in some cases, it's not a big deal. Nobody hears that. You have a lot of people who are in Florida, a big deal. But in the case of 168th and maybe some other streets that are in the city, there are opportunities that you know, where homes are a lot closer to the street. More homes, more people with more kids. And I love the bike path. It's the best thing that's happened in our neighborhood. And I'm grateful for it. Love the little doggy bags and all that too. So, but I think that is something that, as you think about 168th in particular, as that's in, people travel very quickly on the street, and as the street becomes better, it's going to get worse. Once that humpity hump you have to go through as you get to the top of the hill, people will go even faster. Just not a terminal vista at the end. There's not a light there as you're going out of town. So people just see a long stretch of road and they just naturally hit. So enforcement's not going to work there. So I just would encourage us to look at other options that we might implement. 68. Thank you.
Thank you.
That one.
Got another one? Yes.
I'm Jim Coffey. I live at 17775, sorry about that, Cherokee Drive. Listening to the discussion with the gentleman, I'm not far from him anyway, about their speed tables and the problems on North Shore Drive. It was mentioned that we're going to have a survey. Is that survey going to be of the entire residents of the city of Perrysburg, or just the supposedly affected residents of North Shore Drive?
Just the affected residents, correct, Craig?
On North Shore Drive in that area.
I guess my question really is how are you going to justify the expense of putting in more speed tables for North Shore Drive? Benefits the rest of the city, the residents of the city of Perrysburg. I mean, you're up to what, almost $30,000 now in speed tables cost. That's significant. I think that personally, as a taxpayer, I would rather see that money go into infrastructure or vehicles for maintaining the city. You, I think, adopted criteria for the placing and necessity of speed tables, and at about that time, the Department of Public Works proposed getting a new truck with a crane and stuff for handling pumps and things for like the sewer system and the water system. To me, after looking at the information that was provided to the council at that time by the staff back in 2022, about the speed tables, they had a study done, and the ultimate thing was that speed tables really weren't necessary according to the criteria that you adopted April of 23. Now, the reason I bring that truck up is that it was like put down because it was too expensive at $87,000. at $10,000 or $30,000 worth of speed tables. Now, you've already paid for a third of that truck. Me, I would rather not have a mess of crap in my basement from a sewer overflow because they couldn't get the pumps out and worry about somebody going past my house at 5 miles over the speed limit, which is what the study that was done back in 2022 showed. So that's my point. If you can justify speed tables, and I don't know what your ultimate plan is for this, calming things in the city of Ferrisburg, maybe you're gonna put speed tables all over. As far as North Shore Drive is concerned, it doesn't bother me that much. I don't go out there that much anymore. I quit doing that, well, speed tables and congestion and a few other things. It's one of the reasons why I don't. It would bother me to have it, my main entrance in and out of my subdivision full of speed tables. I don't think they really do any good. In fact, apparently, with the other gentleman back here, they're saying that the traffic is not slowed down all that much. So what's the effect? You're gonna put in more every 50 feet or so? As far as I'm concerned, you can start at the fire barn and work all the way to the city limits. Great, go for it. Just justify it. That's my 2 cents per day.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We got another.
If I could, just to clarify, the striping on North Shore is done every, that's a schedule. So, and part of the center line is already single yellow in a couple places. So I think what Ben is asking, the whole length be doubled. So, but that's Craig's decision. Just a reminder about the Sheriff's Department did the speed survey in 2020, and it did meet the indication at that time to have some sort of calming devices considered. And again, that survey was over 8.5 days. There were 15,500 vehicles, and of the 15,500, 9,173 were and of those, 1,204 were up to 35 miles an hour, and the ones that the residents out there were concerned about and remain concerned about, there were 208 in that period that exceeded 36 miles an hour, and there were 55 going 41, 14 going 46, 10 at 51, 6 at 56, and even 2. You know, it's certainly the main concern is not the 27, 28, or 29. It's that person who seems to think that 45 or 50 or 60 is appropriate. So if we can eliminate those extremes, which I think has been done in a large part, that's a success. Thanks.
Thank you. Moving on, reports.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Okay. City manager report, please.
No report?
Very good. Starting at Mr. DeWitt's end.
Craig, I see we got a letter from Brooks on this Gables thing. You update us on that at all?
We haven't gotten no response yet.
But we are gonna push it.
We'll watch, yes.
Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Councilmember Tate.
Police Commission met on the 29th. Mayor Carcel and I, along with Craig, were both there, and we all expressed our concerns about the speeding on North Shore Drive, or North Shore Road. We have the attention of the Sheriff's Department. That's all I'm going to say. Craig will have info at the next meeting, the next council meeting, about staffing levels for the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office for Ferrysburg and Spring Lake. I have contacted all the various, or as many of the various clergy members as I can in the area via letter, email, and phone. Beginning in June, someone other than me will be offering the invocation on and off again. I'll be kind of the backup. As I said, I'll miss the next council meeting due to travel plans. And Craig, question, the election tomorrow?
School election, yes.
School election, so it's just strictly school issues on the ballot, because there's nothing on the city website about it.
It's a school election, renewal of the homestead, 18 mills.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Montgomery?
Yeah. The Rec Commission hosted our Ferrysburg Nature Preserve hike. Good turnout, again, beautiful day for it. Thank you to the Ferrysburg Church for supporting us with water and bathrooms. Overall, just a great event that I would encourage anybody to get out to next year. Nora is doing a fundraiser with the Whitecaps. If any of you are interested in going to a Whitecaps game, it is in June. We're hoping to have a bunch of people from the Tri-Cities there. They are discounted tickets, and you can also get discounted a package with discounted drinks and hot dogs, and a portion of that money will go to Nora, which is a great opportunity for us. So, yeah, under report.
We continue to work on the 4th of July. Our meeting is next week, so I'll have more details. But I wanted to thank Craig for hosting some of us for the chamber dinner. The mayor and the rest of us were there representing the city of Ferrysburg. I think that was a good thing. Thank you. And a report?
Yeah, KLH Dunes Preserve Board, they participated in the Grand Haven Earth Day celebration on 4/20/24. We had a booth at the Grand Haven Central Park Pavilion for that event. I'll be joining Bill next meeting. I will not be here. We'll be out patrolling North Shore Drive for speeders. End of report.
Okay,
No,
very
you
good.
won't.
I just have a couple things. Excellent time when we went to the Chamber of Commerce annual meeting last Thursday. And it was great to see other council members there as well. And last Saturday, Ferrysburg Nature Preserve hike was a fantastic success. We had a great time with that. Craig, in our packet was something about that housing grant.
Yes.
We're gonna plan on using the 50,000 for master plan and.
Correct. For updating the master plan, we're going to use that money to do that.
And the only other thing, I think that's it. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support. Very good. Thank you. Jeez.
Can we have a roll call vote?
I'm only doing that for the record, guys.